Hello, everyone. It's Mira Raven here, and welcome to the Magifest interviews show. And I'm really excited to be on this month with an amazing singer. I've listened to her. I listened to her songs. I've gone to her website. I've checked this girl out. She's awesome. Um, I'm excited to have her on tonight. She's got a octave range. Um, she is a songwriter. She is a vocal and global badass goddess. And yeah, I'm really excited to be crossing paths with her. She's done all sorts of things. She's written a book. She's got an EP out. She has her own interview show that she does. She's she's incredible. So we're gonna have her on in a moment here. And for people who are joining the stream, please feel free to say something in the comments. Say hello. Because I every time I do these shows, all I can see is an eye and like when people like it, but I have no idea who's liking it, who's watching. I have no idea. So, help me out here and let me see you as a actual person, whoever you are watching right now. Ashley, hello, hello. Yeah, see, love that. Okay. Um, so I'm excited. I just for anybody, if this is your first time watching this show, I'm doing this show just because my website, Magifest.space, is really just a body of content to help people manifest, like just manifest your dreams, make your dreams happen. Um, Manifest magic. That's what Magifest is all about. Manifesting magic. So I have like blog articles, I have other interviews with people, and this whole series is all about really focusing on people that are out there manifesting, people that are just they're just doing it. Like they're just doing what they love. They're doing things that help other people. They're doing things that uplift other people. So that's what this show is kind of about, showcasing. So I'm excited. I have like so many people kind of lined up that are interested in being part of this show. So I'm really excited that I've had a lot of really positive experiences, meeting people and finding people that are interested and people that are doing awesome things. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on Miss Glenda Benevides. Hello. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I have to unmute you.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, good to see you.
Yes, it's good to see you too again. I was
Thank
talking to
you.
her before.
You're such a beautiful spirit. Thank you so much.
Aw,
I'm
thank
just
you.
really
I
looking
appreciate
and
you.
I love that. I love Magifest. I thought,
Thank you.
wow, who thought of that? That's amazing. Go, Mira.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to begin. I feel like I had a lot of questions, so I'm gonna probably not ask all of them. But I just want to ask, I want to ask, what's your astrological sign? What's like your zodiac sign?
Okay, you have to guess first.
Oh man, okay, okay. Let me see. Um, Taurus,
Close. My
Aries.
rising. Nope. My rising sign is Taurus.
Okay, all right, that makes sense.
I'm a Pisces. Piscean.
Oh, I could see that. I have a lot of Pisces friends.
Ah.
Yeah, I have a lot of
Yeah.
Pisces friends. My
Yeah.
sister's a Pisces, actually.
I love that.
Yeah.
And you guys get along?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
there was obviously that time. I feel like and I see this with like my students when they talk about their siblings and their sisters. Like, oh,
Yeah.
my sister, I wanted to, smack her in the face or so, like, or whatever. Because I think you just have that moment with your sister where you hate her, right? Or like you're like, oh, I can't stand you,
Yes.
go away, but it's like
Yes.
you love her, but it's like she's your sister.
Yes,
Um,
totally.
were you a big sister or older? younger sister, little
I
sister?
was an only child.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's more like I have sisters now. I've
Yeah.
kind of created my a community of sisters, and it's funny because it doesn't matter if they're your blood or not, because you have those moments where you go, I hate my sister.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like ah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pisces with a Taurus rising and a Virgo moon.
Oh, yeah. I could see that. I could see that. Okay. Can you guess what I am?
Scorpio.
Good job. How'd you know?
I don't know. I just had to
I just have that sort of that Scorpio
tapped
vibe.
in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, my most favorite friend in the whole world is a Scorpio. You guys have a little similar energy, just kind of really grounded, but still have that magical Magifest and that energy in you.
Mystical, right?
Yes, yes,
Mystic. Yeah. I have you ever heard of Sadhguru?
yes, I have. Uh
He
huh.
had like this video he did on like snakes and how they're always surrounded around like mysticism and like I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. It was finding it very interesting, because that's my Native American birth totem, the
Oh,
snake. So it's
interesting.
like the zodiac. If you've ever done the Native American birth totem, or looked at the birth totem system, it's uh, it's like the zodiac except it's just different animals. So
Interesting. Yeah.
if you're Pisces, I can't remember what Pisces is, but if you look it up, you can find it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to do that.
But yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Um,
We got the water women right now. You and I are the water women.
yeah, it's just yeah, water people are they're just like still, they're like water. They're still. I mean, if there's enough fire in the room, I will boil like water, and I do get excited. If somebody else is
Yes.
around me with a lot of
Yeah.
excitement,
Yeah.
I'm like right there with them.
Yeah.
But if
Well,
people are chill and like I can be a chill and just kind of keep it.
keep it down. Keep it
Mhm.
in the dark. Love it. Mhm.
Cool.
Mhm.
So I kind of want to, for people that are just totally new, there's going to be some people that know you and then there's going to be some people that don't know you. So for the people that don't know you, um sort of just, I mean, I know there's so much that you've done. Kind of if you can kind of go through a little bit of sort of your journey as an artist, but also, you know, just not just as an artist, but it seems like you sort of branched off into all these other, you had when you were younger, you were performing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but according to what I remember, you were performing right when you were like in your teens, maybe you were
Mhm.
touring and
Mhm.
performing, and then
Mhm.
but then you've also recently, like, you've been doing, like, you have a book, and you have the global badass goddess workshops and all of that brand. So that seems like it was more recent. So did
Yeah.
that kind of come out of, how did you sort of, what was your journey like, sort of coming from, from being, more performance based to reaching into other, dipping into other territories, and yeah, just a
Yeah.
little bit about that.
Sure. Um actually, I've always been clear that I was a singer and a songwriter, always, since I was like 4. I've been singing since I was 4, professionally since I was 16. And then I toured most of Asia, Europe, and Canada, US, um, for a good 20 years. And there comes a time in an artist's life where you don't necessarily give up what you're doing, but you kind of you shift over into something else. You kind of start to look at yourself as a mature person. When you hit your 30s and 40s, you kind of go, okay, I'm still a singer, I'm still a songwriter, I'm still making a difference in that way. But then you kind of go, yeah, but it's not relevant, the dreams I had when I was 16 versus what I'm at 40. You
Yeah.
just kind of go, that's not applicable to
Mhm.
what's going on today. And how
Mhm.
can I sustain my life? How can I
Mhm.
sustain a business, meaning the music business? And and so you start to look around and you go, okay, what do I have to contribute? Like, what else do I have to contribute? Not just my voice or just what I'm writing about, but what do I have to contribute? And I just kind of naturally always been there for my friends and listened to them and kind of, did that armchair counseling kind of thing just because of things that I've learned, not trying to tell anybody, but they just kind of ask you, like, oh, well, duh, 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 and you kind of go, well, have you thought about this? Um, so I kind of stepped back from that. And it kind of all came about where a girlfriend of mine in the kitchen, while we were standing in my kitchen, and she said, you're a real badass. Matter of fact, you're a badass goddess. And I went, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And I said, huh. And at first I wanted to go, no, 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 don't, no. Um, and I just stopped and I said, you know what? Why don't you own that? Like, what is it like to own? What does that mean? And so I kind of actually went on this little journey to figure out what a goddess was, what being a badass was, and it's not going in the room and being masculine and beating a bunch of people up and yelling and being aggressive. It's not that. That's not badass. And I have it all described on my website. Um, but yeah, I just started to own that aspect of myself. And then through that, I started to see that, well, maybe I do have something. I do have something to contribute inside of that conversation. So I actually took a couple of days and I thought about it for a while and I said, you know what? I'm going to write down everything that I think might be a contribution for people. And I think I'll put it into chapters. Um, so I thought, okay, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to do 10 chapters. I'm going to do a chapter a day. And in 15 days, I had written a book. And of course, a year and a half later, I had to edit the book and do this a whole journey on its own. I'll never do that again. But anyway, inside of that, I thought, okay, well, that's a nice segue into adding onto my performance person, my songwriter, my, the EP that I just released, and I thought, okay, well, I can add my book. This is just a blank copy. I don't know if anybody can see that, but um,
Yeah.
yeah, so I just thought, why don't I do that? I've always been a more philanthropic type of person and really care about people and life and evolution and just wanted to share that. So that's how I started that and segued into that. Meanwhile, I'm still writing music and still recording and still performing. So,
I love that. I love that. It's beautiful, and I think that's so. It's so inspiring, to just looking at all this stuff that you've done. It really, it's inspiring because I think sometimes what can happen, is, even when we're kids, we're told, we're asked, like, what do you want to be? Like, you have to choose, like, you get to
yeah.
college, you have to choose this particular thing. And it's almost like I don't want to say like a life sentence, but it's like almost like having a life sentence because you feel like, oh, this is I'm locked into, this is what I'm doing. Oh, I'm a sing, I feel similar to what you're saying in terms of, sure, I love music and music is something I'm always going to do, but I also don't want to have, like, I've never wanted music to be the only thing that I do. Like, I've
Yeah.
always had all kinds of other things, interests, and wanted to go to those interests. And and I think that sometimes you can limit yourself if you just say, oh, this is all I can do, or this is all I
Yeah.
have to offer. I think
Yeah.
asking that question of what what can I offer this world with the gifts
Yeah.
that I have, and how can I contribute? Right. I think you even said this. How can I contribute? Right. How can I
Yeah.
contribute to this world, and how can I offer to this world, my service? Because I
Yeah.
think that at the end of the day, that's what art is for most people. It's
Yeah.
a service. it's you expressing yourself and being vulnerable, for others, right?
Yeah,
For, I mean, for
absolutely.
yourself too. I think it's both, right? I think
Yeah,
you get something from it. As I mean, I know for me, I feel like by singing for somebody else and having that experience and seeing the person react to your vibration, of
yeah,
life, is a magical thing. Really, just the smile on people's faces, or
yeah,
the excitement, or just having that experience with them is I think what keeps me wanting to just still just create, whether
yeah,
it's just creating. I mean, I just create to create, kind of thing.
yeah.
um
Well, I think to touch on to what you're saying, um, Mira, it's almost like you've got to like touch base, like tap base, tap in. What's the word? Just tap into what is your purpose?
mhm
Like, what is the purpose? What's your purpose? And that has nothing to really to do with what am I going to do in life. And when you really touch base on my purpose, then you can really sit here and go, okay, now that I have my purpose, what do I want to do? How do I want to express that? How do I want to be inside of that purpose? And there's no right or wrong, you know? And I think a lot of times, like you were saying earlier, it's can be difficult because people and families can put you in a box, oh, well, I need
yeah.
to do this. It's like, no, I need to be this. I need to be myself. And then
Yeah.
what is that, right? And you keep
Yeah.
asking that question, what is that? Who am I? You know, those are those existential questions. But they're important, because you find the joy. You'll tap into your own joy and your own road, so to speak. And it seems like you're actually doing that. So that's really, really extraordinary. Hmm.
I'm I'm trying. I'm doing, I'm in the process. I think that's my favorite word for the year, is like I'm
Yeah.
in the process,
Yeah.
because I just think that there's so many processes that we go through, and so many cycles and processes, and that's what everything is, like the learning process, the process of your craft, the process of your projects, the process of your emotional development, your spirit. It's all processes. So it's like the more that I sort of see that in my life, the more,
Yeah.
through teaching, it's kind of allowed me to see that. But I'd like to know, I'd like to kind of know a little more about kind of what, a little more about what inspired, um, sort of just the goddess EP recently.
Oh, yeah.
What were some of the inspirations? Who do you like listen to? Who are some of your inspirations? Both, not just musically, but if you have, I know for me sometimes film inspire me, nature can inspire me. What, just in general, like what are some of the things that you draw inspiration from as an artist?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna jump to a some new music that I'm working on. And I'll talk about the Goddess EP in just a second. But I just wanted to share this with you because this is really unique. So sometimes how you write songs, I know you might have a different process too. But so my music partner, we have this process where he'll throw me a track or a beat or whatever, and then I'll just either have lyrics or I'll design lyrics or whatever it evokes from something, right? Will come up
Mm-hmm.
to me, come to me. And so this time there was this track that he gave me, and I was like, oh, that reminds me of New Orleans. And it didn't sound anything like New Orleans. Matter of fact, the track sounded like it's called the Dow, which had some um, Asian instruments in there, like a I can't remember what it was called, but anyway, it was so amazing, and I thought of New Orleans, and then I started going down this path, and I thought, okay, what are women in New Orleans doing? So I jumped online. Thank God, I love that, and started digging through. Okay, Marie Laveau. No, everybody knows Marie Laveau. Let's like look at some contemporary women. Read. No. Then all of a sudden, I came upon this woman. Her name is Lulu White. And Lulu, I don't know if you know who she is, but Lulu was around in 1890s, and she was in an area of the French Quarter called Storyville, and she was a basically a madam of her own brothel. She was absolutely gorgeous. She was half black, half white, and she was the richest woman in New Orleans in the 1890s and
Wow.
empowered. And I was like, what's going on? What? It's like you see these things, you kind of go, no, there have been powerful
Yeah.
women all through history, right? And
Mhm.
I just fell in love with her and her story and what I could find out about her. And they obviously shut it down in her brothel and everything in that area, kind of in 1917. So anyway, so that's what inspires me. It's like telling stories, telling true stories, and I just seem
Mhm.
to be embracing my feminine, my magic, my womanhood, more so than ever because I really grew up being on the road with males, band members. So
Oh
those were
yeah.
those were my companions. Um, so now I really get to just explore a lot of different things with the Global Badass Goddess and then the writing the music. And so that's going to go on the new EP. And it's going to be, I think, something around Southern women. And it just hasn't really come to all of it yet. That's just it's down the road. But
Ooh, but I like it. A little
so
taste, a
cool.
little amuse bouche.
Right?
Right. I like it. That's
But
so cool though. There's so many women like that though. There's so many badass
so
women.
many, so
Yeah.
many, and just really in I mean, those times were really, really difficult. Like we have it bad in our own ways, but it's just, I think that the dirt under the carpet has actually come up, like the violence and the prejudice and everything that we see now.
Oh
But at the
yeah.
same time, we have freedoms and we have these interesting things that we can speak out and get a lot of people going, really? That's what's happening there? Oh my God. Like I didn't know
Mhm.
that.
Mhm.
So, and it always takes that tiny few people that are just close-minded and ignorant and fearful that kind of try to ruin it for everybody else. But if we just don't buy into the propaganda and just say, who am I? What's my heart say? You know,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. No, totally. And I think that
You're
that's Oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, I was you know, just thinking out loud. It's not a big deal.
I know. I'm trying not to like I'm just somebody who like I love talking, so this is the best thing for me to like listen,
Me too.
listen and just like
Yes.
really hear. I just get excited, I like listening to people. So it's a great way for I feel like for me listening to listening to what you just said, I feel like the whole like the whole entire like the whole thing this whole entire year, like the past year, there's been so much going on, and I think it's really been a great test. Like I think that when I think about all of the experiences that I
Yeah.
have, I always feel like it's kind of like a test. And I
Mhm.
feel like this whole, there's been a lot of tests to sort of discernment tests, right? Like things that come up, and it's like you have to be like, okay, what's really going on here? And that
Yeah.
has been like the biggest question that I've asked. I feel like
Yeah.
the last like year, over a year, is just every time something would come up, I would be like, okay, I just want to see. I just
Yeah.
like cut the bullshit. I just want to see what is
Yep.
there. Whether it's maybe it's a Scorpio thing,
No,
but
I
we
love it.
just we just love to just cut right through. And I have Sagittarius, Mercury, and North Node, so I really just like to cut to the
Cut
chase and
through.
like
Yeah.
figure out
Yeah.
what's really happening. What's the truth? Where. And so, not to say that I always know the truth, but I'm always sort of trying to. I'm attracted to that. Let's say that I'm
Yeah.
attracted to it, where it's like that's where I want to go, whether it's the dirty truth, the awful truth, the wonderful truth,
Yeah.
whatever. form truth takes, but I want to see it, you know. So that's the kind of person I am. And so when you say that, it's like I think that's so important. And then of course listening to your heart. I have a moon in Cancer too, so I'm also a big softie. So I can vibe with that as well, and I feel like that's you know, one of the things I wish people would do. And actually, well, I'll say what I feel, but I also want to hear what your perspective is as well. Um, I feel like one of the things I wish people would do more is really truly ask themselves if they're really understanding another person, and like really try to
Mm,
see if they can find a deeper level wherever they are on the level, you know, spectrum of understanding somebody, if they can
sure.
go on a deeper level. Because I think a lot of times people will just kind of throw around, I
Mhm.
understand you, but like
Mhm.
I feel like understanding is more of, there's like these layers of understanding
Yeah,
somebody, and there's different factors, and if you're not looking at all those factors,
that's right.
you could make an assumption about somebody or misunderstand what they're going through and say you
Mhm.
understand, but you're not understanding certain layers
Yeah.
that allows you to really be there and support what they're feeling or what they're
Yeah.
going through or whatever the situation is. So my question is to you, what as well, like what is one thing that you feel like you wish people can find the courage to do more of this year?
Whew, probably not one thing, but,
Oh, well, yeah, true.
yeah, ooh.
Hard to
Um,
pick one.
right? I think it's around having each one of us activate. And what I mean by that is when you find your core, you need to activate that. And inside of that, and you said it earlier, it's around listening. And when listening doesn't mean hearing. Listening means you're actually listening to what they say without a monologue in your head about what you're going to say
Mm-hmm.
or what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
It's really listening and letting it land. Because to your point, it's very important to say, mm, Mira just said X. I heard what she said. I really got that. Now let me ask a question. Let me ask another question so I can really get clear about what it is that you said and then what it is that you need, and not just jump in and say, oh, I heard that. It's like, well, maybe you did and maybe you didn't. Just really important to what I call being present. Um, Not to use any phrases that have been, happens when it gets in the culture, those kind of conversations. But yeah, just to be present. So that's what I'd say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I think that that's one of the things I think everybody has this struggle, right? I think where you have like your own thoughts and what you're experiencing and what you're processing and how you
Yeah,
feel. And then you have a whole, like the way I see it is like every time I'm talking with another person, they're like a whole like galaxy. Like I see it as like the other person, it's
yeah,
pretty profound. Like people are so interesting to me because it's like that's a whole other galaxy in front of you that you're connecting with, and
yeah.
like your galaxy and my galaxy are connecting right now, and there's a billions of bacteria and there's billions of atoms and cells and all these little things working together to create this, like
Hmm.
what, that's
Right.
that's crazy. Like I think people forget. I mean, I also tell people too, it's like we're in space. Like, did you guys forget? Like, we're actually in space. Like,
Hurling.
we're in space. Like, people don't think about the fact that we're just like, I think
Yeah,
sometimes, I don't know if you feel this way or notice this, but I feel like sometimes people act as if we're like in a box called Earth
yeah.
that has nothing to do with
With anything else.
space.
Yeah,
It's like we're in
yeah,
our box called Earth because that's how we perceive that, you know, we are, there's limits to our perception in our
yeah.
human bodies. So I feel like we see like, oh, we're in this little island called Earth, in a box and the rest is like alien and unknown and
Right.
whatever. And we're the center of the center of the galaxy, when really we're a speck in the tiny, or we're a tiny speck in the humongous, ever expanding, infinite galaxy.
Yes.
So I just feel like people forget the I don't know, it just seems like people kind of forget, like,
Yeah.
if we live in a galaxy, I mean, there's the whole world, there's a whole galaxy that we haven't even explored. So
Yeah.
I just think if that's possible, and if we don't really know what's going on, I mean,
Right.
who's to say what's really possible and what's
Yeah.
not possible, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I just, it's the sky is the limit, really. It just, I mean, obviously you have to have time and energy, and there's a variety of things, but whatever you put your mind to, you can just, you just work it out. You go, how can I, instead of saying, oh, I can't have that because I don't have the money right now, or I don't have this, you just go, how can I? How can I do that? It's a different question that you ask yourself, and it allows possibility, and it allows an open door and freedom to come rushing in. And then it's a bigger question: how can I have what I want? How can I be in this field? Or how can I get my music in the world? How can I be a dancer? How can I be a podcast woman? Mira goes, no problem. Let me look that up.
right, exactly. Just Google it.
We'll do it. We can do this.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I think that's kind of the I think that's like the name of the day right now is, just whatever you want to do, like,
Mm,
learn and do it
yeah.
if you can. And I think that there's, I think through the process sometimes of going through, you may learn that, okay, hey, that's not for me, but now I tried it out, and this is,
Yeah.
or you may learn, hey, this is totally for me. I can't
Yeah.
believe I wasn't doing this. I feel that way about the drums. Like, I just recently started
Yeah.
playing the drums,
I
and
love
I
it.
was always like, not didn't see myself as a drummer,
Yeah.
but then I sat down at the drums, and it's like, I'm a singer, right? Like, that's my thing, is I'm a
Yeah.
singer. I play other instruments, but that's my primary.
Yeah.
And when I sat down on the drums, I'm like, no, I think I'm a drummer.
Oh my
I think I'm a,
God.
a secret drummer. I'm a Cindy Blackman in disguise.
Nice.
so so
Girl, why
I'm
don't
working
you
on
need to live
that.
down the street so you can come and play with me.
Yeah, yeah. What do you play? What else do you play?
I play mandolin and guitar, and I
Ooh.
dinkle around on that keyboard. I don't play, but I
Oh.
love it. I wish my parents would have, instead of gave me a guitar, I wish they would have given me a keyboard.
Well, if you ever want keyboard lessons, I gotcha.
Really?
Yeah, I play keyboard, and a little bit of ukulele. I'm sitting on a cajon right now, actually.
Nice.
My cajon is my,
I
I
just
don't
wanted a
have
cajon
a,
player.
yeah, yeah. Oh, well, yeah, I've actually been trying to find a guitar, somebody to play. I've been really itching to work with a guitar player because,
You just need to move out here.
drums and, well, I'm working on it.
You need to get your bag and just move
I'm
out
working
here.
on
I got a
it.
gig in May, so come on.
Okay, all right. Sounds good. We'll talk after the
We got a
show.
studio. We got our own recording studio. We got our own intimate performance venue area. It's like,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
So
we can get like,
yeah. Yeah,
girl.
you had said to me, I think before, you said something about, were you doing a house
Yeah,
concert, or right?
yeah, yeah. We can
Yeah.
get like 40 people.
Wow. So is
Yeah,
that at your house, or is that like
yeah.
a, oh, wow, that's really awesome.
Yeah, we jumped into a on accident, actually. Well, not accident. There was intention going on, but I because we had a real clear intention of like what our needs were, and part of it was we thought, we want to turn this space into something that can house the community, like, and then we've shot music videos here, not our own, but other people have come and shot music videos here. We had an art opening here. We had a couple of
Wow.
concerts. Yeah, and then we got shut down, of course, but beforehand, but it was like, ooh, this is going off here. So, Yeah, it was starting to happen. It's
Well,
okay. We went virtual. So,
hopefully it will continue too,
yeah.
because I mean, even in here in Chicago, it's things are starting to kind of open up, and
Mhm.
one of the local venues just sent something, letting thanking people for supporting them and being like, oh well,
Mm.
we're looking to open, so I think they're
Mm.
trying to kind of get to a point where they're opening. But I
Yeah.
know at least last year we had a lot of
Yeah. Oh, you
outdoor
did. Yeah.
stuff. Are you
Yeah.
guys able to have outdoor
Yeah. That they
performances?
yeah, they've opened up. They've done indoor too. So, we're going to play a winery in May. There's a couple other places I want to play. So, we're just waiting for everything just to kind of come back, and
Yeah.
plus we can play here, and then we can live stream it, which I did. uh I did a fall festival here, and I had about 6 local artists come in, and then we all filmed it. We social distance, but, and we have the lights, and we have everything, so it's might as well. We just have to edit it, so it's just taking forever. It'll be the fall summer
Yeah.
festival.
Oh yeah. Were you
Uh,
guys doing like a for the performance, was it like where you had like direct in like all your mics and like everything just like plugged up, and
yep,
then the video, and then syncing like different camera angles and
yep,
syncing the angles with the video? And
yep,
are you doing the editing?
yep. We do
Oh
everything in-house.
my. Wow. Oh my. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
me and
lot.
Jean, it's a lot. Gene is a Sagittarius, so know those Sages, they wanna know. They figure it out. So,
Yeah. Oh
and
yeah, they just
right? That's why, like, when you said, "Oh, let me just figure this out. That's interesting. Let me go here." That's totally Sag kinda thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's great. So when are
Cool.
you moving?
When am I moving? I'm trying to by next year. Maybe in a year or two. I'm kind of trying to. I wanna. I learned the hard way that I prefer, maybe it's my Cancer, Cancer moon or something, or Cancer Mars, but I prefer to be comfortable when I move
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yes.
I'm not the best at just, well, I guess my Sagittarius North Node is what gave me the gust of,
Let's
like,
do
growing up
it.
in Maine, in small coastal Maine,
Right, that's
and going,
right.
I want to go to a city I've never really been to, and I know nothing about. I
So
didn't
awesome.
have any idea what I was getting myself into when I came out to Chicago. I didn't know about I mean, I knew that there was crime, but I didn't know that it was like the place for that. I didn't know that it was, that it was, I didn't know anything about it, really. Nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't know the north and
Maine
south
to
sides.
Chicago.
Yeah,
My
so
God.
it was
Yeah.
definitely very it was just a total culture shock for me, but in the
Yeah.
best way.
Yeah.
And
That's great.
so I feel like, but I've learned that, that was a good experience. I don't know if I want to be that adventurous and just throw myself into
Totally.
a city
Totally.
again, but I do think I want to, but I do have a need to travel.
Yeah.
So, um, eventually I will get there.
Yeah.
But anyway, I would love to know also, um, a little more about a little bit of more about where music sort of what role kind of do you feel like music plays for you now? Do you feel like it's your central thing, or is it something more, it's where it's kind of like, yeah, I keep it going, but my central, like, do you, or is it not really, or do you not have like a central thing, but rather maybe just kind of shifting between different projects? How do you manage it all, in other words,
Hmm.
all that stuff?
Yeah. It's called a calendar.
Definitely, yes, definitely
Ah,
helps. Google,
yeah.
iCalendar, iCal,
Yes, exactly. My eye.
reminders,
Exactly.
alerts.
Girl, that's exactly what I have to do. I mean,
Mhm.
if anything, I mean, I have to schedule everything, and I even have to schedule downtime or schedule, I'm just going to check out for like a couple hours, you know,
Yeah.
So that's even scheduled, and then and if as a fluid being, you will know, an artist, you may have a, let's say you may have like 11 o'clock, and then maybe you're not feeling it, so you switch it out. You work with yourself. You don't get too rigid, but at the same time you can't blow everything off. So
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
true. True.
Yeah, so, and that's just I don't know how to explain it. It's almost revolving doors or floating balls. They're all in the center because I've got so many things going,
Mhm.
and, and because there's not a, like, as soon as I get done here, I've got a rehearsal. So, music.
Oh, tonight.
Yeah, so that's,
Oh,
you know what I'm
wow.
saying? It's like, so yeah,
Mhm.
we gotta prep for this show, and we've got a couple of months, so we gotta work, 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 work. But so yeah, so on some level it feels like work, and on other levels it feels like, no, this is what I love to do. It's my music,
It's
you know?
both. I
Yeah,
know, I totally
yeah,
I think I get it because it's like when I tell people the things that I do, they're like, "How you're doing a lot." And I'll be like, oh yeah, I guess I am." It's kind of like, "Oh, right, right. Oh, yeah." But I think that I know for me personally, I agree with that. I feel like I've been, if only people saw, you guys see just this beautiful green screen, but you don't really see all of the individual sticky notes, all over
right.
my desk. It's like confetti, like all the sticky notes from, from different
Mhm.
days after day, every day it's like sticky notes every
Yeah,
single day.
yeah.
And like you said, calendar, iCal, 2 alerts
Yep,
always.
yep.
So
Yep.
I feel like but I also think that like what you said about taking the time to, making sure you actually build in with all that when you start getting busy and you're scheduling everything, you have to schedule in time for yourself. You have to
Yeah,
schedule in time for like you said, like just if you got to just chill out, like schedule that in and be like, okay, I am not going to get up. Like sometimes when my alarm gets off,
sure.
I'll
Yeah,
be like, I'm going to sleep for only 10 minutes, and then I'm going to get up. Then I'm going to just take
sure.
these 5 or 10 minutes to
Yeah.
just gather myself and not just
Yes.
immediately just be like, okay, let's go. So
Right on the money, right on the money. And I teach that in my, Global Badass Goddess. We have workshops,
mhm.
and that's around self-care. And it's like I started doing that for myself too, because I thought, why am I jumping out of bed? I'm like tripping, falling, dropping things because I'm not really in my body. And I know that's not true for everybody, but I know me, and that's part of it. You've got to know you and how
Right.
you work. And
Mhm.
so if you wake up and you need 10 to 15 minutes, you should take 10 to 15 minutes, because you don't know what's happening. You don't know if you're going to hurt yourself. You don't know, if you make a mistake.
Right.
I've answered texts when I was half asleep, and they said, "What did you say to me?" Like really weird, or I read it wrong or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
I'm just like misinterpreted, like, because I woke up grumpy or something. And they're like, "Well, they're assholes," and you're like, "That's not what they said." you know? So it's like,
Mhm.
I have to do self-care in my way that makes it really, really work. So I think that's, God on you. That's definitely important. It's really important to do that, and take those times and move things around. There's been times where I had a list of things that I needed to do, and they were all in time. And I just got to the, last couple, and I go, I can't do it. I just can't do it right now. So I
Mhm.
moved it over to the next day in a time frame, so I'll remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's I feel like that's perfect. I feel like that again reminds me of the kinds of things I have to do too. Like I'll write a list and be like, I'm very ambitious, so I'll be like, oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
the rising Gemini in me. I think in
Yeah.
Gemini South Node is I'm very like, oh yeah, do this and do this and that
Yeah.
and that, and then I'm like, okay, like realistically, if we're gonna get this done, Scorpio part of me is like, realistically,
Yeah.
if we're gonna get this done, you need to do this here and this here. And then the Cancer part of me is like, oh, okay, no, that's too much. I'm overwhelmed. We need to like move
Right?
this over here, you know? So it's
Yeah.
like, I think that we all have dynamic energies within us that are kind of, different needs and wants
Yeah.
and desires and whatever. And we have to sort of listen to those first, I
Yeah.
think. And
It's
then,
it's learning to work with yourself,
right.
but you
Mm-hmm.
have to understand what your own needs are. And part of that
Mm-hmm.
is calming the mind enough to and moving the distractions or the people in your life that maybe don't really have your best interests, which yeah, that they should be not in your space, and you should be able to think for yourself, and just really design your life the way you need to have a healthy lifestyle, and that
And
creates
that's what you
magic.
focus on, right?
Hmm.
And that's what you focus on, right? In your workshops
In
and
the
what you
workshops,
what
yeah.
you're doing, and
Yeah.
that's great.
Self-expression,
Yeah.
clarity, confidence, courage, and commitment. Like, what are those things? How do we get to them? How do we have everything that we want? That's type of things. I have a thing that I work with the gals in the workshop. If you don't mind me sharing, um, I there's a section in my book too. It talks about this. It says what's negotiable and what's non-negotiable in your life, meaning what are the things that you want and what are the things that you don't want. And sometimes I shared this. Let me just share the example. So I shared this with a young woman that was going to do my workshop, and I was just kind of coaching her on the side. And she was telling me she was sharing some kind of complication. So I explained to her long negotiation, non-negotiable, and I gave her the details on how to do that. And I just said, write those things down before you go and do anything. Write that down. So she did. She wrote it down. She went on a date, and and on this date, she said she came back to me later and said, "Oh my God, Glenda," she said, "on this date," she goes, "this guy, I was sitting there and I was going through all my non-negotiables and he was hitting all of them." And she said at the end of the date, she said, "Thank you very much." And he asked if he could see her again. She said, "No." And the win for her was that she said that she would have not said no. She would have gone through 3 or 4 more dates, probably ended up in bed with him, and been really disappointed or in a really bad relationship. But she knew right away because she had put down her negotiable, non-negotiables, and she knew them. And so when she was on her date, she could actually see, whoa, this guy does
Yeah.
not listen.
Mm-hmm.
So bingo. So anyway, we
Mm.
we look at those things in the workshop.
No, that's so, I mean, I feel like that's so important, in your relationships, because your relationships are, I also feel like I've learned this too through some of my experiences, that relationships can be, a very huge part of your own personal well-being, because these are people that you're connecting with on a regular basis, and you're
Yeah.
connecting with their energy and their vibration. And if they have certain patterns or energies that they're bringing into your sphere, into your aura and your space, and if you don't have boundaries set in your relationships, then you're getting caught up in all of their stuff. And I feel
Yeah.
like there's been a lot of people that get in relationships where they are stuck in somebody else's stuff, and the other person isn't able to, or doesn't know how to take care of their stuff. They also don't know that they even have stuff that they're
Yeah.
carrying. And so they're just, aimlessly wandering around with all this stuff, wondering why things aren't working out, or why
That's
they're
right.
feeling sad, or whatever is happening. And they're wanting, to
Yeah.
be in a relationship because they think that being in a relationship is going to fix the stuff that they are not aware of that's
Sure.
happening and affecting them. So this all this thing. So I think that the work that you're doing is so vital and so important to people having, um healthy relationships with others as well as with yourself. And I think when you
Yeah,
have a healthy relationship with yourself, then you can have a healthy relationship with others.
that's right.
But it has to be yourself first, and it's
That's
not
right.
selfish because
No,
it's not about just doing what you want to do, it's doing what you need to do for your body and what your body needs. Not just what your body wants, but also what it like actually needs
yeah,
to work. You know, the way you need it to work to do what you need it to
absolutely.
do.
Absolutely. And, you know, just to tag on to that, Mira, is, you really, if you don't know yourself and you don't know what you really want, what you don't like, and and you're not loving yourself, how can you love somebody else? There's that great little comment about the airlines. When you're on the airlines, they say put your mask on yourself first, then on your child. Well,
Mhm.
hello, that's the same thing in life. You've got to put the mask on yourself first, because that's what everything comes from. Whether it's a good job, whether it's knowing who you're being, whether it's
Mhm.
what you want in your career, or do you have a career, or do you want a career, or do you want to be an artist, or do you want to fall in love? And who is that? Who is that person? Well, who are you? Who are you being that person is attracted to? So if you're a mess, guess what? You're going to attract someone that likes a mess. And
Mhm.
then there's going to be, it's always this thing that happens in relationship. So and if you can look at things like, so what? Okay, so let's say you go down a path with somebody that's not good for you. Best thing to do is step back and just go, okay, what do I need to learn from this?
Right.
you know what Okay, huh, I'm not always the victim. I need to stop with the victim. Take accountability, responsibility for yourself. Okay, well, I push him a lot, emotionally, or I don't show up, or whatever. Like, there could be a litany of things that you could look at. And then you can say, okay, I want to shift these things. Maybe the relationships gets better. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's one of those things where you kind of go, okay, I got this. I'm done, you know, and you
Yeah.
can walk away in a really empowered way. And this is really for women. I work mainly with women of all ages, and just really, really get clarity, confidence, courage, and, commitment, getting to understand that inside yourself and empowering yourself so you can step forward. And I learned a lot of this while being on the road, being single, being married, being, a musician, being a touring musician. I mean, you name it. So this is, I know it works, and I've evolved myself, and I'm excited to share it with others.
And I'm glad you are, because it's like we need examples in the world.
We
People
do.
need to have people. I totally believe in teach by example. Like if you can't, I'm always trying to take my own advice and try out my own like teaching methods as a
Yeah.
teacher. When I'm
Love it.
learning something, I'll do exactly what I tell my students, the things I tell my students to do, and flip it, so I know what their perspective is when I'm telling them, hey, do this 5 more
Yeah.
times or do this, this way or whatever. I Do you have time for me to still show your music video? I would
Sure.
love to
Sure.
share that
Great. Great.
with our
Yeah.
audience.
This is can I just prep a little bit?
Sure,
Um
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, so the other artist that's in the music video with me is a wonderful magician, and he does this old style, they call it pantomime.
Hmm.
And he's just really awesomely talented. And so I said, "Oh, will you do this music video with me?" And he said, "Of course." So, and it's called Everybody's Love.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I just wanted to ask you
Yeah.
before
Sure.
I went into it. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, definitely. So this is something like what kind of inspired can you tell me a little bit more about like what inspired this song and then the process of like song to
Sure.
video?
Sure. Well, this is on my new album, the EP Goddess.
Mhm.
And I wrote it just because I just wanted the video really has nothing to do with the song. Sometimes you just like, it's not a direct translation. Um it's just more of like, oh, here's a cool art thing and an expression. And
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but everybody is love. It's just really about just, I guess, really just sharing that. I don't know even know how to explain it. It's just about that, you have love in your heart. Everybody has love there. There's love everywhere if you just look.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like beauty. It's like that concept of like beauty, beauty is. It just is. It is everything. It is life. It's I
Yeah.
mean beauty, life, love. I think these things are all kind of
Yeah.
like they mesh together, They're all to me, I mean, this is personally I guess how I see it. I think
Yeah.
it's like beauty is love is life. These things are all one. So
Yes.
yeah, I definitely resonated with it. Okay, I'm excited to show you guys. You guys ready?
Great.
We're gonna show everybody is love. Okay, let me go back to the beginning. Okay, here we go.
Why do we wait? What you waiting for? Why look within? Answers knocking down your door. Time to wake up. See the blazing truth of you. Nowhere to go. And realize you're not chasing youth. Love every day. Love every moment. Yeah. Love every sound. Come on. Show it, show it on. Time to wake up. See the blazing truth on you. Nowhere to go. And realize you're not chasing youth. Be who you are. Walk your talk in a mindful way. Remember what you are. You come down from the star. Love every day. Oh, love every moment. Love every sound. Yeah. Show it, show it. You don't need anything but you. Don't wait to know how to. Step forward and share your gifts. Lift others up and coexist. Love every day. Love every moment. Love every sound. Oh, and show it, show it, show it. Oh, everybody is love.
Oh my gosh, that is great. I love that. That was,
Yeah.
I mean, and I've already seen it, but I wanted to tell you again, because I feel like, and I wanted to to talk about, just, I think it's so cool how everything that you were saying, like the lyrics, like
Yeah.
the words, like love every, I think love every
Day.
day, right?
Yep.
Every day,
Every
love
moment.
every day, every moment.
Hmm.
Um
Every sound.
and then you had another line that I liked. Walk your talk in a mindful
Mindful
way.
way.
I
Hmm.
liked that. I really liked that line. And I think, and I love how, walk your talk, right? Like, walk your talk. Like, don't talk your talk, okay? Don't talk your walk. Walk your talk,
Talk.
you know?
Yeah.
But I feel that's like, that's, I definitely feel like I like that, because I feel like people talk about what they're going to do so
Yeah.
much, and
Yeah.
so little do people actually have the perseverance to continue, because a lot of stuff that people want to do,
Yeah.
you have to, like, I'm always telling my students, like, you have to keep going. You can't give up just because it's going to be a little hard
Yeah.
sometimes. There's going to be times that you're going to be like, oh, you're not getting it, but you have to keep
Yeah.
going. You
You
can't
have to keep
stop,
going. Yep.
you
You
know?
got it. 100%.
Yeah. So I love that. I think it's such a great message. And then your voice. Oh, it's so, I love it. It's so
Thank you.
powerful. It
Thank you.
reminds me of, like, it reminds me of a lot of different singers. Like I hear, like Betsy Ross, like Tina
Nice.
Turner.
Nice.
I hear, like, I kind of get a little bit of Portishead vibes too. I don't know
Okay.
if you like.
Yeah. A friend
I
of mine
mean,
just told me that.
yeah,
Yeah.
like the vibe. I think it's like the instrumental,
Yeah.
and then I also think like your energy. Not necessarily like your voice. Like, her voice is a lot like a lighter. Like, I feel like your voice has like like this power in it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's got like a, and I mean this in the best way. Like, it's got like a beefiness to it. Like, it's got some like stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I
Yeah.
like that though. I think it gives it it gives it like this, like grit, but like
Mm.
in like a good way, like
Mm.
bluesy,
Mm-hmm. Mm. Thank you.
and
Mm-hmm.
I love that. And then I feel like, but then I also feel like you have the technique, like the vocal technique is like superb. I can tell you're not using any like auto tune or anything
No.
gross like that.
No.
And I love that though. I have so much respect, and I love that because it means that you're a real singer.
Thank
And,
you. Thank you. It takes a real singer to hear a real singer.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Thank you. Yeah, I used to always say, I touted myself as, look, I can sing a song from the beginning to the end.
Mhm.
Straight through. Because I know
That's
a lot of
serious
time.
though.
Yeah, and a lot of times, when you're in a studio, you can just do verse by verse or whatever. But I used to like old school and just like, I'm gonna do the whole thing because it does, there's an expression to it. You're
Mhm.
telling a story,
Mhm.
and it's an
Mhm.
energetic story too. So
Yeah.
best to be able to sing it all the way through if you can. But
It's authentic. It
yeah.
just makes it more, and you can hear that in the sound. It's like, what I loved about it is that it
Mm,
was authentic,
mm,
and you don't hear music like that because it's like it's like what you said, like the production they
yeah.
use, like they pretty much hide the soul, like
Yeah.
what I
Formulaic. Hmm.
right. And so what I hear with your music is I hear like a real, vibration, a real soul, a real person
Mm,
really speaking their truth,
hmm.
and on a,
Yeah.
on a higher level. So I really respect that and admire that, about your music, and I'm really excited, to hear the new stuff that you're doing, and, like,
Yeah.
please keep me in the loop about
Great.
all
Yeah.
that stuff.
I'll send you a link.
Okay.
Everybody can get the EP on Bandcamp. You can buy a song or you can buy the whole album. It's not expensive.
Oh
So
yeah,
I don't know.
definitely.
Yeah. I
Hmm.
think you can, shall I give you the link to that?
Yeah, yeah. If you want to give me the link, I can post that up here.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'd love it if everybody would just at least go listen to it. It would be awesome. I would
Yeah, go, you guys. I'm gonna put this link up here, and if you're watching, please go listen and check this woman out. She's wonderful. She has
thank
an
you so
amazing
much.
voice,
Thank you.
and yeah, I think on your bio it says you have a 5 octave
I
range, which is
do,
amazing.
but you get there with voice lessons. So that came about because as a young woman in school, I was always the alto. And all the sopranos usually got all the leads, and I was like, "I wanna sing high too," So, I think that's that drive,
Mm.
yeah, to become and so I've taken lessons all my life. You cannot go on the road and sing 6 nights a week, 5 hours a night, and keep a voice. And I did that for 15 years, so I've had lots of training, so
It
and the
can
training
feel.
never ends. I mean, really, seriously.
Oh yeah.
I still practice. I still train. I still, I have more things that I want, when I get more. I got to be
There's
better.
always, right, there's
Right?
always a place. I mean, I tell my students that every day. I'm always like, there's always, and I have some students that are really talented, but I
Yeah.
also have to remind them that, and they just want to, they want to get there yesterday, of
I
course,
know.
as that usually goes. And I have to remind them, I'm always going to give them a challenge. And I'm same thing with myself. I'm always going to give
Yeah.
myself a challenge.
Yeah.
But I'm always going to try to love myself where I'm at right
Yeah.
now too. And wherever you are, so I think that's one of the takeaways I'm getting from this conversation is where you are right now is is important. Where you are right now is just fine.
It's so
And
right
but
on.
keep striving,
And
to get to where you want to get to. Don't give up. Um,
there's the
walk your
link,
talk in a
Mira,
walk
in
walk your talk in a
a
mindful
mindful
way.
way.
I was gonna say peace. I don't know why peaceful came in. I mean, that's not a bad thing to do either. But I love mindful too, right? Because I think that's
Yeah.
another thing we could definitely use more of that. I
Yeah.
think as well.
So important. So important, especially for all of us. We really need to be more mindful. Who's in front of you? Be mindful. Don't be selfish. Be self-full. And
Mhm.
in being self-full, then
Yeah.
you can really be compassionate or understanding or ask questions or you know what I mean? Stand in your own power. And power is not might, you know. So, yeah. Well, thank you so much for this amazing conversation. You're such a delight.
Thank you. You
Yeah,
too.
I'd love
You
to have you on
too.
my show.
Oh, I would love
Badass.
to. I would love to be. I would love to get my badass little Scorpio
Mhm.
self over
Mhm.
there. Uh huh.
Gonna play some cajon.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
uh-huh.
That I would love to jam. I'm so ready to jam. It's gonna happen. We're gonna
Yeah.
make it happen.
Yes, girl. Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
All right. Well,
Cool.
just so you guys know one more time, um, please check out glendabenevides.bandcamp.com. Listen to her music. Check out her YouTube. I watched her YouTube. She has some awesome interviews, some really cool stuff. And then her music videos are up there too. You can see more of her music videos. She has some other music videos. And then I'm assuming that your new music, is there going to be a music video with that too, or just the single coming out soon?
Well, the Goddess EP, so I think there's 6 songs on
Mm-hmm.
our EP, 6 or 7. Um, we don't have any we have that's Everybody is Love is the only one that we have on there. The rest we're planning on creating music videos for, so, yeah.
Oh,
It's a
gotcha,
brand new album,
gotcha.
so,
Yeah, yeah. You gotta
yeah.
take your time. It's like, one by one,
Yeah.
releasing it. Oh, that's
Yeah.
great. Okay, cool.
Cool.
Well,
W
people should definitely, you guys should definitely visit her website. And then I'm sorry, you were gonna say something.
No, no, just, I'd love I'll, definitely replay this on maybe even put it up on my YouTube channel, so it'll be fun.
Yeah, feel
Yeah,
free. I will definitely I'll send you all that stuff
great.
after we talk.
Perfect.
But yeah, like I would love to have you guys check her out. Also, you know, check out this series because um, I'm gonna keep showing uh this show. I'm going to show this. I'm going to have this actual recording up on my website, and then I'll have it on my
Great.
YouTube page. I have two pages. I have the Mira Raven page, and then I have the Magifest Media YouTube page. So all the Magifest stuff is going to be there, but then I'll also have it on my regular Mira Raven page, as well as the Facebook page. So you can, if you want to share this with friends, if you have friends that would be interested in this conversation, or you think would really connect with Glenda and her music, please share. Please push it out there, because we are the movement. We have to
That's
move
right.
these ideas. We're the soldiers,
Yeah,
in the
brilliantly
war
said.
on truth. So we have to put
Brilliantly
things out
said.
there.
Brilliantly
So,
said.
thanks.
Yes.
Um, so I really am so grateful. Like I said, so grateful, so blessed to have crossed paths with such a global badass goddess, Miss Glenda Benevides. And I look forward, like I said, I look forward to your new music. Like I said, you guys, I'm going to be having my next episode of Magifest interviews will be next month. So this is every month. The replay for this, if you want to watch it again, is going to be up pretty much after I think we finish. It'll be available on most of the platforms, if not tomorrow morning, so you can share it with friends. And yeah, you can also check out more information about Glenda's global badass goddess movement at glendabenevides.com. Check out her really awesome website. I loved your website. I thought it had like a badass vibe to it.
Thank
Um,
you. Thank you.
so if you want to step into your own badass goddess, she's the
Miss.
woman. Oh wait, wrong way. She's the woman. Forgot that it's mirror image. Um so thank you guys again so much for coming, and I'm going to just show um my little outro video here. And yeah, like I said, I'll see you guys next time.
Thanks,
Thank you
Mira.
so much.
Thank you.
All right.